Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Brave New Hollywood. Today, my guest is Vic Gerami, host of The Blunt Post with Vic on KPFK 90.7 FM and the editor and publisher of The Blunt Post. Vic, how are you?
I am well, Henrik. Glad to be with you today. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for coming on. Vic, I wanted to have you on to ask about something that happened on your program this week. You called out a famous superstar on your program, and I just wanted to ask you more about that. You called out Cher, and
Correct.
for something that we think she should have given a timelier attention to, safe to say. I wanted to ask you to explain in your words why you decided to call her out.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give it context, I'm a huge Cher fan. I have been throughout my entire life, I think. And I've written about her. I've paid tribute to her. I met her a couple of times, but I believe that we need to hold everyone accountable, not just those that we disagree with. So, and this was something that was a big deal. So some of you may know that on September 27th, the countries of Azerbaijan and Turkey unleashed a genocidal war and ethnic cleansing on Artsakh, also known as Nagorno Karabakh, which is part of Armenia, for millennia, just indiscriminately shelling and killing civilians, breaking all kinds of international laws with banned weapons and such. So about a week after the war, if you will, it's more like an attack, started, I was contacted by a friend of mine who's an entertainment publicist, and she said that she'd been asked if she can do something to bring this situation to the attention of international media, U.S. media, etc. And so she wanted to bring me on board because I'm Armenian American and I've been very vocal about this. So we decided that we're going to produce celebrity PSAs, a very quick 1-minute PSAs that celebrities can do on their phone, just to say that they stand with Artsakh and Armenia and human rights, and to talk about the humanitarian aspect of this catastrophe. So we sent out requests, and we immediately received goes from Kim Kardashian, Serge Tankian, Ed Begley Jr., Sally Kirkland, and many others, and Congressman Adam Schiff. And I contacted Cher's publicist, Liz Rosenberg, and told her about the situation. And Liz got back to me and said, Cher is not doing any appearances, events, videos, Zoom, anything like that. If I want, I can send her some copy and artwork, and she'll forward it to Cher for consideration to post on social media. So I thought, well, I'll take whatever I can get. So I prepared those and sent it to Liz, and never heard back. I follow Cher on all her social media handles, so I never saw her for over 5 weeks of this really catastrophic war. For her to say a word. And Cher is always on Twitter, and we know she talks about politics and current events. I followed up with Liz, never heard back. And I was just really disappointed that as an Armenian American herself, who, and to be fair, who has done great stuff in the past, for this, the most important one, where it had to do with innocent thousands being killed, she stayed silent. Yeah. So about 4 or 5 days after the war ended with a ceasefire, a very egregious ceasefire, when it was too late, she finally did a PSA, not our PSA, but a different one. But at that point, it made no difference. It didn't make sense to even do it then, because it was over. And I think she did it probably because she was ridiculed for not doing the PSA that we produced. We thought, okay, well, Cher Dib wasn't on board. And then about 4 or 5 days later, I noticed that she was in Pakistan. Now, she's been talking about this elephant in Pakistan and finding refuge for the elephant and sending, all kinds of aid to it for a while. But she went to Pakistan to see the transfer of the elephant from Pakistan to Cambodia. And you would ask me, like, so what's wrong with that? Of course, we're all animal lovers, and a lot of people would do that. But what's egregious about it is this. Pakistan is the only country in the world that has not recognized Armenia. To make things worse, Azerbaijan and Turkey hired mercenaries to kill Armenians, and those mercenaries came from ISIS, Syria, Libya, as well as Pakistan. And they were paid $2,000 a month to kill Armenians, including civilians, and $100 bonus for every severed head. So for Cher to go to Pakistan, a country that one, does not recognize Armenia, and two, has supplied mercenaries to kill, right now when this war is supposedly ended with a ceasefire, but there's so much human rights violations happening right now and crimes against humanity. Armenian prisoners of war are being tortured. They are being mutilated. Their ears are being cut off. For her to do this, it was egregious. So that's it. That's the most of it.
So Vic, let's take a listen to the original segment that aired on your show on KPFK FM here in Los Angeles.
Sounds good. Anyone that knows me knows I'm probably one of Cher's top 1,000 fans. And that says a lot because she has an army of fans. Of course, a few days after being told that Cher is not doing any videos on camera, events, etc., she was at the Billboard Music Awards giving an award to Garth Brooks, which I thought was sort of odd. Also, Cher tweets daily a lot. For those that are following her know this. For 5 weeks, when Turkey and Azerbaijan launched a genocidal campaign and ethnic cleansing of Armenians using mercenaries, ISIS mercenaries, Syrian, Libyan, Pakistani, and slaughtering people, she never tweeted a thing or on her other social media. And for those of you who don't know, I should have said that Cher is Armenian American. So I could not understand it. So after having not heard back from her publicist, I basically tweeted to her a couple of times, said, come on, we are, this is about saving lives. You can't just do one tweet. Finally, after Armenia was basically forced to sign an egregious ceasefire agreement that was brokered by Russia, she did a PSA, not our PSA, the one that my colleague and I produced, but a different one. But it was too late. It meant nothing at that point because it was all over. Artsakh lost 75% of its land, and thousands of Armenian soldiers had died, and it meant nothing at that point.
Vic, since that piece aired, what has been the reaction, the aftermath?
I've just received a lot of correspondence, emails, messages from people who were very grateful that I did that. But people are grateful, Armenia is a country of 3 million. So on this international scale, not a lot of attention is being paid to it. It's not being covered by press. So people are grateful that me or anyone else would talk about it, write about it, bring attention to it.
Why is it important for celebrities to give their voices to causes and issues, you think?
Well, because people pay attention. People want to know what their favorite celebrities are saying. It's an automatic platform. They have a platform, and especially those like Cher, who's a superstar,
Yeah.
and people pay attention. The press covers it. The press may not cover a simple media alert or press release, but they will cover if Cher does something. Now imagine if Cher, instead of going to Pakistan, had gone to Armenia to visit these families, to visit these soldiers who have lost their legs and their arms. If she had visited Artsakh, that would have been an incredible opportunity. World media would have been on that. So it matters. It's always mattered.
Vic, thank you so much for joining me for this chat, and we'll see you again, hopefully, on Brave New Hollywood.
Thanks for having me, Henrik. I appreciate it.